What is up, you guys? Today I want to look at this, a quick look at the Quick Draw from Evergoods, which is an unfrickin' believable bag. Before I jump in, I know a lot of you are waiting on the giveaway news and feedback. We will be announcing the winners on email, and I will likely be Instagram living it. So if you're not already on Instagram and email, links to both of those below so you can be entered in to win all of our future giveaways. Okay, let's get into this bag. But seriously though, if you're not already on the email list, I literally can't help you. When we have like giveaways, when we have huge discounts from companies like Evergoods or others, which like are amazing products that are literally gonna be in your life for decades, probably, right? So I can't help you if you're not on the email list. The first link down there, get on the email list and follow on Instagram because that's where we're doing our giveaways. Let's really get into this. Okay, so the Evergoods guys sent me this, they're one of their latest packs. It's called the Quick Draw 24, the Mountain Quick Draw 24 liter. It is a mountain pack. It is designed to be out in some of the harshest environments. I mean, I wouldn't take this up to the top of Everest per se, but it would survive it, okay? Overall, a very simple bag, but one that I have fallen in love with using. Let's talk about some of the details and you'll hear about what are the things that really pulled on my heartstrings. You know, some of these things in this bag that reached out and they grabbed me by the heart and they pulled me in. They said, you know what, Chase, you're good, man. You're better than this. Come on. Pull your finger out of your butthole. Okay, like I said, very outdoorsy aesthetic, very outdoorsy appeal. I love this light gray color. I think it's killer. I'm using this bag almost every day for a particular use. I'll tell you in a little bit. But what this thing really boasts, it's not just this quick draw feature, which I'm gonna show you in a second. It's the whole package. These guys at Evergoods, they are some of my favorite product designers, I think. They really think about the impact of the decisions that they're making. They really think about what it's like to use this bag and what the goals we're really wanting to get from this bag are. So, have you seen those alpine bags where it's like you have the top loader that comes over, you have two clips, you pull those two clips, it's like the Tom Bin guide pack, you open that up, and then you've got a drawstring that's keeping everything tight, then you pull the drawstring and now you're in the bag, okay? So, if you want to close, you get your fucking granola bar out of there, right? And then you pull the zip string back, you pull the top over, you clip in one clip, you clip in another clip. Or, so great. Or you do this. Oh, you want to see that again? Okay, here, watch. You cinch it closed and you open it up. So this is the quick draw feature on this bag, okay? You'll see there is a string right here, some paracord, really durable stuff. And underneath here, not sure if you can really get a good look at this. Can you see this here? Can I zoom in and you see enough of this? But it's a little clip. It's actually attached to the face of the bag, okay? So it actually moves with the bag. It's not like a separate thing that you have to grab, pinch, and hold. It's just the bag right there, and you get quick at doing this move. You come in. This is a little handle, by the way, which is killer for just grabbing the bag and moving around. But you come in, your thumb is already on the top of that thing, okay? And then you push it down, you open it up. Now, and then to close it, I don't even push the button. I just pull it in like that, okay? So here again, you got this nice red tab. This is another one of those outdoorsy, vibey aesthetics where it's like, did you hear what I said? Outdoorsy, vibey. It's like, it has an interesting look. It has a good aesthetic. These kinds of like avalanche-y, pull tab to release life jacket kind of things. But when I pull without opening it up, it really doesn't give very much at all, right? Like I can just barely get it. And that's bad for the paracord. It won't do that when your load's in there and it's heavy and it's upside down because your pressure is gonna be held by this all directions of inside this bag. And inside of that little clipper thing, there's not just like, it's not just a spring pushing down on this string. It's actually cammed. which means there's a cam in there that is kind of like it's pinching against. The more you pull against it, the more it pinches against it. So you're really tightly in there. But if you wanted to really rip it, you could still get it out. I don't recommend it because it's not great for this cord, I don't imagine. Though I see no wear and tear on this after using it for a while. So again, I'm coming in, I need to open stuff up, and you will get used to this. I need to open stuff up. It's pretty easy just to grab. You're gonna need to find that. Boom, look at that. And then we're open. And we're into the bag with this very interesting sort of angled top loader bit, okay? I'm gonna show you how you can fold that down in a little bit, but the first thing I wanna talk about, I just want you to know is this quick draw feature is fucking dope. It's killer. Okay, let's close it down. See, it's so easy. Now, the second thing I want to show you is on the front of this bag, which is where you can tuck this little string away or paracord away. This is a 4-way stretch, really durable panel that is just open at the top. I just call it my open access thing. You can just throw whatever into there. You got a little like thing, whatever, water bottles, gloves, hats, anything you want. It's meant for just access to stuff on the go, and it holds it to you. Now, if you're traveling out in, Paris, like don't put anything here because those gosh darn gypsy kids are really fucking good at getting into your bag. By the way, don't be too afraid of that. If it happens, it happens. My wife got her phone stolen when we were in France. Guess what? You just deal with it. I mean, obviously, it's more money you got to spend, but don't let it ruin your trip. Yes, you could have been safer, right? But if I have kids now. I could have been safer. I wouldn't trade those kids for the world now. I'm glad I was a little unsafe. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had lots of nights where I'm like, oh, I gotta be safer in my life. But if you're out and about and you get something pickpocketed, I know it can suck. The big thing is if you can just go, you know what, say la vie, whatever. Take a hit, take a shot of something, move on, and enjoy where you are. And this for travel this is not like a travel bag. This is a hardcore outdoors bag, like super hardcore outdoor adventure bag. Like you can go get it done in this bag. However, I personally use it almost daily just around town for a very particular use, which I'll tell you in a second. And I absolutely love this as a kick around bag. More on that later. Now, one more thing about this front 4-way stretch nylon pocket is it has two cutouts down here at the bottom. Okay, now they designed on purpose into this so that if you put in your dirty gloves, hat with some crap on it, whatever, you're gonna be using this like all the time. Like a leaf might get in there or something like that. And they're just like, let's find a way, let's do this so that dirt and things can just naturally sort of exit the bag. You have one of those pockets on your bag that's just got tons of crumbs and shit and lint and crap like just down in the corner, and you reach in with your fingers and you grab as much as you can, but there's always more. That's what this pocket would be if they didn't have those there. So, like I said, some of my favorite bag designers. Okay, top handle is fucking awesome. This top handle is great, okay? Now, let me tell you about these straps here in a second, but this top handle, similar to all their products, okay? Like kind of it's not soft, it's not padded, but it's not like, it doesn't hurt, it has some edges to it in some ways. What's great about this is you can really find it as you're looking, total darkness. Pitch black, where's the handle? You're on it. You're right there. It's easy to just slide off the front of the bag and just get it. I love this handle. I make a big deal out of handles because a handle is really one of the pieces on a bag you actually interact with the most in what I'll call tertiary ways. When we think about bags, we think about loading them up, unloading them, finding what we need and stuff like that. We think about putting them on, speaking specifically of backpacks, we think about putting them on our shoulders. What's it like to swing the bag on? We think of pulling it off and like if there's a place of the bag that we can access while the bag's on, but we often don't think about handles. And handles are where a designer gets to, or a brand gets to say, here's how to think of us. So if you look at a handle on a bag and you say, this is what the company really thinks you should think of it, right? So if you do one of those bags that just has straight webbing handle, they're just like, you know what? We're very simple. We're very we're very true to the materials, and it's not rocket science to make a great bag. But when you find a bag that just does something that nobody else is doing and it's very interesting, you're just like, oh shit, these guys are on another level. So handles, bro. Okay, so we've got this quick draw. We're loading things up in the bag. We've put it all in there, but now we need something while we're out and about, or we need to throw something in. Front panel right here on the right side of the bag. It's well, let's call it, as it's on, it's your left side, okay? And I'll tell you why that matters. It matters because, like their CPL bag, they go left-handed or left side for bringing the bag around, so you can be kind of right-handed with accessing it and getting in. Because here's our zip panel right here. Beautiful number 10 YKK zipper with a little stubby zip pull. Their zippers are my favorites. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is because it's on this bag and it's on the CPL, like the Civic panel loader, which is one of my personal favorite daily carry bags. I'll put a link to my review of that in the description below at this time code. Also, simple little zip pull. I love their zip pulls. Just like a zip pull is another thing where a company can really help you to understand what they're going for. You'll find a lot that over-engineer or over-stylize or, just try to make an impact with their zip pulls. And these guys go for a very simple, like piece of nylon, webbing that's small. It's not the kind of thing you really see very often anywhere, with a knot at the end. They never come off. That as long as I've used them, they've never come off, and they always feel great. Now, inside this side zip pocket, there is actually, you see the mesh up against here? Can you see that? And this zipper, there is a side little pocket. It's on the front panel of the bag. It's got this nice mesh, and again, a kind of mesh that's not gonna break down. The materials, these guys, they're like, I almost have this concept in my head, like trying to make like a 30-year bag, right? This feels like they're going for like a 30-year bag. Like this bag, you are gonna give to your grandkids. They're gonna find in a closet someday and go like, dude, Grandpa, what the hell? This is amazing, okay? Or like, I helped build I did a small part in the Saddleback Leather. Back in the day, there was a company called Saddleback Leather. I think they're still around. And they were like one of these hip leather companies, and I helped build a website. I was on the team in Portland that built it. And one of their slogan, their tagline, which is still one of the best taglines I've ever heard for a product, ever. It's for these massive leather bags, right? These leather bags that are expensive. They're made from really, really killer leather and yada, yada, yada. This company actually got in trouble for using a little bit less quality leather, but they were like, no, we're making that decision it seemed like they had good reasons for it. But anyways, their tagline is, how do you get someone to spend $500 on like a leather, laptop carrier or something like that? But the whole thing was, they'll fight over it when you're dead. Like, your kids will fight over it when you're dead, because you always had this bag. It was worn in so beautifully, and it's like, there's no reason why. I mean, you can easily repair all this stuff. Send in the bag, we'll repair it. They will fight over it when you're dead. I don't know, ever since hearing that, I keep thinking about this like 30-year or 50-year bag or something like that. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know how long bags are supposed to last. I don't know how long we can really expect to get from our bags, where the weak points are and stuff like that. What I love about a bag like this is it just feels like forever. And you experience that literally in the mesh that they use, in the 4-way stretch that they use, in this external fabric, which I'll show you in a second. I mean, I'm like ranting and raving about this bag just because, I'm not paid to do this. I'm not paid to do this at all. If I sell one of these bags, if you get inspired to buy this bag and you use my link, I will get a small, it'll be like buying me a beer. Right? So I don't make a ton of money on that. I'm more interested in getting people really stoked and having a bag that they love. That's why I do this whole channel. Not just bag, more products than that, but this particular bag is one of those products that has this entire ethos. This real, it has a personality and a point of view. You might have heard me talk about this before, but with product design, with design in general, when I designed websites, when I designed applications, when I'm working right now designing a bag with an exciting company that I can't wait to tell you about. In that work, you start to realize that we're aiming this for, it has a purpose, it has a use, and actually has multiple uses. It's main purpose is get this out, get your shit out into the country and make it as transparent as possible. So when you're out there hiking, photographing, or doing whatever you do, you barely notice your bag. But it carries all your stuff, so we gotta be able to get into it quickly and easily. We wanna be able to close it down. We wanna be able to throw stuff in. We wanna be able to get to that smoke sack down at the bottom of the bag, because we got to to some good spot to have a little ceremony. Okay, let's keep going just around this this bag. There is that handle right there, and you see that zipper? Yes, quick access pocket. Now this is what makes this bag just that much more usable for those of us who aren't like, you know, real beardy mountain men type people. And not just the men, ladies as well. This gets you this quick access pocket with a key little, you know, chain in here. This is for all your little stuff that you don't want to have to go side access and then into the internal pocket. That's really snacks and first aid. This is on the go. This is my phone and my keys and my whatever, maybe my quick point and shoot camera or something like that. Maybe just one granola bar, just a bit of the snack. This quick access pocket is killer. Also, notice that there's these daisy chains. 1, 2, each one of them they're places for you to leash things to, attach things to. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more on the inside of the bag, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, now look at this. Look where this quick access pocket is. Can you see this? Can you see me okay? Do you see how a typical bag, normal backpack straps, would have these things basically tethered right up here? Actually, right at the top of the bag, which means if we would have had a quick access pocket, it would have been cutting into that space. As it stands, the quick access pocket's actually this wedge right here on these incredibly interestingly designed shoulder straps. You see this curve that comes up like this? You see the way this kind of comes off of it? It's like, what's great about this is I don't see how this is gonna break over time. Straps, how they're connected, can often be a place we have to really put a lot of engineering into because it carries a ton of the burden of the weight. But the way that they're designing it here, that weight shifts through all of these different panels and pulls, and so it's like you have a way better distribution of who's carrying the burden of the weight. But perhaps to me, the most important part about this is we've got this curve here. Well, what that does is that they designed this like they did the same thing on their CPL and their Mountain Quick Draw. They designed this to go with your shoulders and your back. So what I notice is because it curves up on that, and then you've got a sternum strap here, which by the way is removable, and you can switch sides, so you can pull it tight on the right, or you can pull it tight on the left, or remove it entirely. But what I've noticed is the way that this comes and hugs my back, the bag just feels way more a part of me. It moves with me way easier. It also has a hip strap that's just webbing, a simple hip strap, which they say is less for load bearing and more for just keeping your bag sort of aligned with your body. I've removed mine. I don't need the hip strap with this thing, is what I've noticed, because it doesn't have very much padding, so I don't like to cinch it tight. Anyways, it's just a webbing strip, which I'll show you it in a second. It's inside the bag. But I have not found that I needed it with this bag, because it's like a rocket pack. I'm set up. I'm like locked in. Another thing to notice, you see how there's these little sheaths right here, this little place where you can, if you're tender and your fingernails are cut, you might be able to, massage and work it in a little bit. What that is actually, it's a bladder port. So on either side, you can have your hydration bladder, which is inside the back panel if you want, or a 13-inch laptop. That comes right up through here and through there, very non-discreet. You can tuck it up and hide it away, or you can clip it onto the strap with other stuff. And one more thing, like I showed you before, just again, left side, open this wide. This is great. See, the thing is, I always want to go around the right side. I mean this, the Evergoods guys, I always want to come around the right side. Always. Every time. So it's like, I kind of want this to be like this, but my arm's in the way if I do this. So I'm actually left-handed if I do this, because I want to grab this, I'm pinning this down, and then I'm in here. My internal mesh pocket. It seems like this is all built for operating with your left hand, right? You're opening it up like this. You're inside, you grab the mesh pocket, which by the way, this panel is just about rigid enough to get one-handed. Like open it up one-handed, but I don't find that it's all that easy unless the bag is packed. When your bag's packed, the whole thing behaves a little nicer. But I like coming off to the right. With the CPL, I learned just to come off to the left. You just learn. You learn some things, the bag's like, listen, dude, you're gonna operate with your left hand when you go around the side of the left side of the body, but you're gonna be able to get into me without taking me off your body. So, enjoy that. Okay, now, inside the main compartment is simple. with some extra little goodies. Okay, first of all, the thing I wanna show you is when you're packing this bag or unpacking it, you can roll this down, which is great. Just gets you more visuals on the bag. I tend not to do that. I like this big scoop. You know what this is like? This is like one of those medicine spoons where you're like, oh, give me it. I like the way this kind of like foreskins out like this, right? I can see stuff isn't falling out of the bag. I've got a nice little place that I can, you know, if I'm ever perched on something, stuff isn't gonna fall out of the bag. But if I were loading it up and I needed to, you know, really, you know, get serious of how I'm packing it out and stuff like that, you can always loop it down. Okay, first thing I wanna show you is, you see this daisy chain right here? There's some daisy chain that goes around right in there, just for attaching, anchoring, leashing some stuff at the top of the bag. Then you'll see this right here. This is the panis or the gunt of our, oh man, really getting colorful with the language today, of our quick access pocket, right? So that's the contents of our quick access pocket right there. Okay, now there's also on either side of the bag, let's see if I can show you this really well. On either side of the bag, there is a little, like a spot here at the top. Let me come up here. Can you see this? There's just like a little side thing, basically for putting like poles and shit. Like they're serious about, you know, poles. It goes all the way down the side of the bag. Just a thin sort of like, if you had one of those walking sticks that you could break down into like tent pole style, it's made kind of for that. The other side is the same thing. Avalanche shovel is kind of what they were thinking for that. Like they really made this bag for some serious stuff. They really did. And so those little side things, here, let me try to show you it with my phone here. So you see, you just have like, it's just very simple. It's just a little bit between the lining and then the outside, the shell of the bag. Okay, you have that there. You have that over here as well. You see that little loop thing? It's really quite simple to access when you're looking down at the bag. Then while you're in here, you can see there is another sort of nylon four-way stretch, same as the front, which actually is for a bladder, water bladder, or for a 13-inch laptop, up to 13-inch laptop. And then the other thing to notice is just the space. You see the capacity here? You see that? You see like how much just inside, it's killer. It's just like, it's open, it's free, it's spacious. There's enough quick access, like with the top, you know, inner pocket, and then the quick access right at the top of the bag. Okay, so just again, on the inside of the bag, we got the daisy chain, we got two side long, narrow pockets. You also can see the mesh pocket here on the top, but you can't access that. That is really just for access through the side zip. You have the laptop / bladder holder, and then really the main feature of this bag is the capacity of this bag. It's just for throwing shit into, especially if you've got pouches and stuff or jackets, and you know, you can get at it through the side zip. It's just a killer like throw stuff in bag. Just kick around. I call it like a kick around bag. Like I need a bag that's a kick around bag. You know what I mean? Like it's not my main daily carry, my main rig for going to do work. This is like, I'm taking the kids down to the beach. Like let's throw towel, let's throw some toys, let's throw some snacks, let's just do some shit and throw it together, zip it up real quick. I love this bag for that. Before I forget, here is that hip strap, which you just put it through these clips down here at the bottom. You see this? I know it's all gray, but you just put it through and get it on, and now you've got just simple mesh webbing hip straps. Now, they actually say that the side pockets inside this thing, the long side pockets, is a great place just to tuck away that hip strap in case you know, so you always have it with you, but you might not need it. So that's what I'm doing right now. Before getting into basically one of my final points, which is the materials on this bag, and I haven't said anything about materials really yet. The materials on this bag are literally, utterly, extremely, unequivocally some of my favorites. Before I tell you what they are, I just want to talk about the feel, because this is really like your hands speak. Like your hands speak. When you feel something, you totally get a sense for how durable, how scuff proof it is, how much dirt it's going to absorb, how water resistant, all that stuff. And though I might not be able to tell you exactly what my hands know about all of this, because it just doesn't necessarily pass into language very easily, but the feeling of using this bag, the feeling, the touch of it, the lifting it up by the strap or the handle, the feeling of this. I mean, thank God they have this outer stretch mesh on here, this 4-way stretch nylon thing. It's like, it just has a really nice density and softness to it. And that really stands in stark opposition of everything else, where it's just this really durable, feels almost like polyester, like a really high quality. I've seen some bags that are made out of some high quality polyester that I've really liked recently. But I like this more than that. It just has that rigidity, holds its shape, but it also crumples well. Like I like that it feels like a bag, and I'm excited to watch this material break in over time. Now, what I'm talking about specifically here is the shell, which is a 420, bro, denier nylon, high tenacity nylon. Now, it is what they call a balanced high tenacity nylon, which means that the sort of the strength is the same between the warp and the weft. If you pull it this way or that way, it has the same kind of strength. And it's got a polyurethane coating on the back side of it, which on some parts of the bag, you can actually see, like up here. So up here, you can see the difference between the back side of the shell and then their second thing, which is the lining, which is a 210D high tenacity, very tightly woven material that actually has a polyurethane coating on the back and then a silicone coating on the front, but silicone parts were made for toys. That silicone is very good for water resistance, but also gives it kind of like a sleekness as you're moving things in and out of the bag. I've really liked it. The other material in this bag, that 4-way stretch, like I said, unbelievable. I watched my original CPL review because they use this as the laptop. I think it's used as a laptop, and it's used inside the front compartment for some organization stuff, I think. And I just loved this material then. It's double layered, so they fold it back on itself. So there's no seam up here. It's just folded, and I just love the feeling of this. Then we've got number 10 YKK zip right here. Like I said, my favorite zips. They're folded. They're sewn in sort of backwards, so it has that like kind of nice rustic look. I dig that, and I just like the way that their zips pull. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Evergoods just, I feel like I'm watching a great film. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm just so absorbed in the movie. I'm so absorbed in the bag. I like, it just gets me. Now, right now, this bag comes in at $199. Is it worth it? I'm like, duh. Fucking totally, dude. Totally. Like, ask for it for Christmas or for birthday or something. Like, get the family to chip in and do it, because you're going to use it for a long time, even if you don't use it every day. Like I said, this, for me, has 2 excellent uses. The first one is my kick-around bag. Like, this will be my kick-around bag. I will take it when we go to the beach. I will take it when we go to the river. I will take it when we go to the movies, probably. Just anytime it's me with the kids and I'm not going to the cafe to work, like, I like to keep my daily carry bag, whatever I'm using at the time, that's got all my work shit in it. But I need something else for the day. When it's a Sunday, we need something else. We're taking the wagon out. We're walking down to the beach here in San Diego. So I love this for kick-around. But then the other thing I really love this for, because I do this just about every day. I go down to a place in San Diego called Indie Yoga. I wish I could do like a separate video just to title this "The Best Yoga Bag Ever," just to get some search love for like people looking for a yoga bag and get them to buy like an actual killer bag. My yoga mat fits perfectly in there. I've got quick access on the top here. I've got side access in case I have other pouches and things like that inside of there. But mostly when I go to yoga, I'm just bringing this, maybe a water bottle. And for me, I mean, like I said, I do yoga almost every day at the studio here in Ocean Beach called Indie Yoga, which I love. So many adorable, sexy people, so many killer lives being lived, so many just like, I don't know. It's fun to do yoga with the group again and again and again. Hot yoga. This is hot yoga. The room gets hot as fuck. You're sweating. Just sweating. All of you at your sweatiest, stinkiest, worst. I love it. Okay, y'all, that is the Evergoods Mountain Quick Draw. I love using the bag. You will get used to how you use this thing. Like I said, this front handle is awesome because I'm constantly picking the bag up by that. But really, this quick draw is what you'll get used to. I just dig it. If you overstuff the bag, like if you have too much stuff and you overstuff it, you can still get away with it because it has that cam lock inside of here. It's not gonna come undone. So even if this doesn't close all the way, right? I mean, I guess one of the things that I haven't talked about is I worry about the water getting in. If you're like in a wet spot, I just worry about the water unless it's totally cinched up. And even when it's totally cinched up, you know, you want to make sure that you got that little flap hanging out there. So you people who are thinking a lot about water, you might just feel that as well, I guess. I don't know. But the truth is I haven't been able to use it in the rain yet. It's just not been rainy down here in California, the bottom tip of California. And given all of that, which is true about the opening and the rain, I do worry about it. So if that's a critical thing for you, you know, obviously you are already thinking of that. For my use, however, man, do I ever love a good kick around bag that I can just quickly throw shit into. I have been Chase Wardman Reeves. Thank you for watching. If you do purchase, I'd love it if you use my links, but if you don't, totally understand. No worries. You might hate me, in which case I wonder why you're at the end of a video of a person that you hate who's making the decisions for you. Get on that email list, stat, so that you can be included in future giveaways. And just so you know, the announcements for the winner of the giveaway are going to be coming either today or tomorrow. Talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye-bye. See you on Instagram. Bagworks.co. ChaseReeves.net. Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites. Yeah, I guess wanting us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that. Yeah, looks nice.